So let's start our discussion of Splunk search language by looking at the components of the search language. So we're typically going to start with search terms. So search terms are the terms that you're going to apply to pull results from your index. Now, this is what we discussed in the previous two modules. We discussed how to search with keywords and quoted phrases. We saw wildcards, booleans, and whatnot. And then we also went ahead to discuss how to search with field value pairs. Now, this type of search is just to pull data from your index. Now, when you pull this data from your index, there might be some type of analysis that you want to perform with the data in Splunk. Now, that is where commands come in. So you are going to apply commands to that data to do different things. So commands, therefore, specify what to do with the results that you retrieve from your index. Now, what are the different things that you might want to do? It doesn't always mean that you do the same thing with the results you retrieve. So there are times that you want to just evaluate new fields. There are times that you want to generate charts. There are times that you want to calculate some kind of statistics, and there are going to be different commands that are available to do these different things. Now, some commands have functions that are associated with them. The importance of these functions is that they define how to perform a task required by the command. And these functions sometimes have arguments. So arguments are just like variables that are needed for the function to work. The next one here is also command arguments. So just like you have function arguments, you have arguments that are associated directly to the command. And these are variables that are needed for the command to work. So for example, you can have a command argument to limit the number of results. Let's say you ran a search and you had over 1,000 results. You are only interested in seeing the top 10, for example. You can use a command argument to do something like that. Now, the next thing here is clauses. Now, what do clauses do for you? You can use clauses to group or rename fields in your results. Now, a series of commands can be applied to data retrieved from the index. So what we're trying to say here is, when you retrieve that data from the index, you apply a command. It doesn't mean that it ends there. So you can apply a command, do something with the data, you apply another command, do something with the data, you apply another command. And when you apply multiple commands on that data, these commands have to be separated by a pipe character in Splunk. And on the search pipeline, when you have a series of commands with these multiple pipe separations, this is what you refer to as the search pipeline in Splunk. Now, let's look at an exam tip here. Search language syntax in Splunk can be broken down into the following components. Here is a good answer option. You have a search term, which we've seen here. You have a pipe character. You have the command, functions, arguments, clause. So let's now look at an example of how all these components that we just discussed work together on the search pipeline. So we are going to start here with our search terms, which we are going to apply to pull data from our index. And that data that we pull will represent intermediate results table after applying our search terms. So that is our first set of intermediate results. Now, we said that when you get to this point, you can start applying commands to do different things on the data. So the first command that you apply here is what we call the eval command. And this is a command that you can use to evaluate new fields in Splunk. Before applying that command, you see that we have a pipe character. Then we put the command, and then we are calculating a new field called call result. And in order to calculate that field, we are going to need a function. And the function in this case is the if function. Remember, we just said in the previous slide that you can have some commands that are going to be associated with functions. Now, you pass your parameters into the if function, which in this case, you are really saying that if another field response code is 200, give the call result field a value of success. Otherwise, give it a value of failure. So when you would have done this, then you generate your next set of intermediate results, which now contains the new core result field that you've just calculated. Now, does that end there? No, you can further apply commands to that data. So in this case now here, you are applying another command known as the stats command. Now, this is a transforming command. So it's going to take those results and transform those into a statistics table. So you're going to put your pipe character, you put stats, and the stats command in this case is associated with the count function. Now, in this specific case here, the count function doesn't have any arguments, but there are cases where the count function can be used with arguments. Following the count function, you have a by, which is a clause. So what you are really trying to do here is that you are trying to get a count of events by the new field core result that you just calculated. So after that now, you're going to get your next set of intermediate results, which is going to be a statistics table that shows you the count of events by the core result field. And finally, you apply another command. Maybe you wanted to present this table somewhere and you thought, okay, this field core result, I want to give it a different name that is final result. Now, how can I do that? There is a rename command in Splunk that you can use to do this. So you're going to put your pipe character, you follow with the rename command, you say core result as final result, and that's how you rename it. And ultimately, you are going to have your final result after the core result field is renamed to final result. Now, let's look at some other things here. So what are the clauses in this search pipeline? You see that by is a clause. Remember, we just said in the previous slide that you can use clauses to rename or to group fields. So we use the by clause here to group our results by core result field. And then we also use the as clause here to rename the core result field into final result. And then what are our function arguments? We said these are variables that are needed for the function to work. So in this case, you had the if function, and you see that you are passing in information into the if function so that it performs exactly what you want. Now we have an exam tip here. When is the pipe character used in search strings? So a good answer option here before commands, for example, pipe, stats, some bytes by, host.